Okay, so welcome again to our YouTube channel kung saan pinag-uusapan natin ang online distance learning. Okay, so for today, ang pag-uusapan naman natin ay ang Google Forms. Isa pa din sa mga Google for Education tools. Okay, so ano nga ba ang Google Forms? Okay, so ang Google Forms ay isang data gathering tool na maaari mong gamitin para mag-collect ng data. So if you are into research projects, napakaganda nito dahil meron tong analytics function kung saan maaari nang i-process ang iyong data immediately. Okay. For teachers, ito ay maaaring gamitin for assessments. Okay? So meron siyang quiz function. So maaari kang mag-design ng mga quizzes sa loob ng Google Forms at ipadala ito sa iyong mga estudyante either via email or via your Google Classrooms. Okay? Ipapakita natin yan mamaya sa ating walkthrough. And lastly, ito rin ay isang tool for creating classroom activities. So maaari mo yung gamitin to create engaging and interactive activities sa iyong online classes. Okay, so wag natin patagalin at simulan na natin ang ating walkthrough.
Okay, so hello teachers. So ngayon, simulan natin ang walkthrough ng Google Forms. Okay, so unang-una natin kailangan malaman ay ang access point ng Google Forms. So paano ba at kaya saan i-access ang Google Forms? So for those who are using mobile phones, pwede nyo itong i-access sa inyong Google Drive application. Meron siyang limited functionality kasi hindi ka basta-basta makakagawa ng mga new documents or Google or Forms sa loob ng iyong mobile phones. Pero pwede kang mag-open, mag-modify, mag-edit ng mga Google Forms sa loob ng iyong Google Drive. Okay? For those who are using desktops, laptops, okay, so using your Chrome, okay, you can access your Google Drive. And pagpasok nyo sa Google Drive nyo, so nandito na ako sa Google Drive ko, okay? Sa upper right corner, okay, ay mag-create lamang ng new document. Okay, so when you click on that, okay, go to more, okay, and makita nyo na yung option to create a new Google form, okay? Meron kang two option, okay? Pwede ka mag-create ng blank form or pwede ka mag-create from a template, okay? So, let's just go to from a template para makita natin yung mga iba't ibang templates na ino-offer ni Google, okay? So, when you go to the templates, okay, meron ka nang makikita mo na yung mga options ng mga pre-made mga preloaded templates ni Google Form. Okay, so na pwede mo nang gamitin immediately. So, meron na yung mga questions, meron na yung mga settings, okay, formats, okay, themes na pwede mo nang gamitin immediately. Okay, so kung nagmamadali ka at hindi ka makapaggawa okay, ng Google Form from scratch, okay, then pwede mo na itong gamitin itong mga templates na to. For teachers, okay, meron ka ng mga several templates dito. Meron kang exit ticket, assessment, worksheet, okay, pwede rin. Course evaluations, for example, you want your course to be evaluated at the end, pwede mo na kagad gamitin yan. And of course, no, kahit template yan, pwede mo yung i-modify. Okay, so pag meron kang mga questions na hindi gusto or gusto mo mag-add ng mga questions, pwedeng kang mag-add ng questions. Pag gusto mong palitan yung theme, pwede din. Okay, it's up to you. Okay, what it does lang is that makes your lives so much easier. Okay? But for this tutorial, no, gawin natin mag-add tayo ng blank document para we can actually see from scratch yung paggawa ng mga question, okay? And ng document natin or ng form natin, okay? So immediately when you create your document, it will bring you to your document that you can edit, okay? So una natin kailangan gawin, dapat gawin is to put the title, okay? Take note that when you create a document, it will automatically save it into your drive. Okay, so nakita nyo dito yung all changes are saved in drive. Okay, so just to save or protect the document para kung sakali mang magkaroon ng internet connection or problem in creating it, it's already saved in your drive and you can go back to it later on. Okay, you can move it to folder if you want. And you can also start it, okay? So if you want to easily find your document, you can click on that, okay? Because there's an option in Google Drive to see all starred documents, okay? On the right side, you have several buttons, okay? Add-ons, this will normally not be available for viewing. Pero kung nag-add ka na ng nag-install ka ng add-on, lalabas yung icon na yan. Okay? So right now, I'm using a form limiter and timify.me. Okay, so yung form limiter, it allows you to limit your the responses. Okay, so it's either by time, by date, and by responses. Okay, so for example, gusto mo na ang responses lang ay hanggang bukas lang. Okay, so you can set the date for that and even the time. Or gusto mo bang iset sila by, for example, gusto mo lang 100 respondents lang yung gusto mo. So you can also set that to 100. Yung timify, okay, basically puts a time in your forms. Ibig sabihin, may time limit kung gaano katagal i-answer ni respondent yung iyong form. Okay? Kaya lang, upon last check ko, may bayad na yung timify. So, you'll have to sign up for an account and actually pay for it. Okay? Pero napakagandang feature nito, napakagandang add-on nito. Lalo na for those who are making quizzes. Okay, na gusto ay timed ang kanilang quizzes. So, pwede kang mag-add ng timify. Okay? Pwede mo rin baguhin yung theme mo. Okay? So, pwede mo siyang i-customize. Okay? When you click on that, okay, you can choose an image, okay, to change the header. Okay? So there are already also preloaded images that you can choose from. You don't need to upload. Pwede ka rin mag-upload if you want. Okay, pwede ka rin from your photos. Okay, it's all up to you. Okay, for example, let's choose this header. Okay, pwede mo rin palitan yung colors. Okay, if you want. You want to customize it. Okay, okay. And then usually, no, kapag nag-upload ka ng picture as a header, nag-recommend si Google Form ng color scheme, okay, na pwede mong gamitin. Okay. Pwede ka rin mag-change ng background mo. You want to lighter, okay, or darker, okay. So basically, it allows you to customize and make your form a little more unique than the other forms. Okay, para it's in a way striking and can get the attention of your students. Okay, lalo na kung gagamitin yung for class activity. Okay. You can also preview the document. Okay, so if you want to see how the document looks like before you launch it or send it to your respondents or students, okay, pwede mo siyang i-preview. And again, I suggest that teachers we do this, okay, para we get to check yung form before we send it. Kasi sometimes may mga mali dun sa form or may mga problem sa settings. Okay? So maganda na ma-set muna natin or ma-preview muna natin. Okay? So always i-preview nyo muna ang mga forms nyo bago nyo sila i-send. Okay? Okay, and yun namang setting button. Okay, so dyan mo pwedeng palitan yung settings ng form mo. Okay. Do you want the form to collect email addresses? Okay, so kapag clinic mo yan, okay, automatically maglalagay si form ng section where the respondents will need to, okay, required, hindi siya option, to put their email addresses. Okay, you can also ask set it to limit to one response, okay, so that they can't repeat or answer again, okay. But it would require them to for them to sign in, okay, to their Gmail accounts, okay. You can also set if they can edit after submit or see summary charts after and text responses. Okay, so it's all up to you kung gusto mong ipakita yung mga data na yan. Okay. Pwede mo rin palitan yung presentation. Okay, so pwede mong ipakita yung progress bar, okay, ng document mo. Pwede mong i-shuffle yung questions. But basically, yung shuffle question is that it randomly shuffles the order of the questions. Okay, so for example, kung gagamitin mo siya sa quiz, maganda na i-shuffle mo yung questions mo para walang order yung answers din. Okay, na pwedeng i-share ng mga students among themselves via messenger kung meron man silang mga groups. Okay, so magandang option yan. Again, we cannot have a fully cheat-proof Google form for a quiz. Okay, so hindi natin talaga maiwasan na meron pa rin mga students na maaaring mag-cheat sa ating mga quizzes, okay? So, mas important siguro is that when we craft our quizzes, we use higher order thinking skills or mga application questions para hindi siya pwedeng i-google or pwedeng itanong, talagang mag-isip sila on their own, okay? And sa confirmation message, diyan mo naman ilalagay yung ano yung message na matatanggap ng respondents mo after they have completed um, your form. Okay, so for example, we say thank you for your response. Okay, have a great day. Okay, so you can personalize it para um, it connects more to your respondents. Okay, you can also convert any of your forms into quizzes. Okay, so when you click on the quizzes, okay, there's an option to make this into a quiz. Okay, so when you toggle that button, it will now convert your form into a quiz. What does it mean is that mag-a-assign na ng points and maglalagay na ng answer key si Google Form dun sa mga questions mo if only it's applicable. Okay? Kung applicable siya, maglalagay siya. Okay? So, pwede ka rin, meron ka na ngayong release grade option. So, do you want it to release it immediately or pwedeng later for manual review? Reminders lang, teachers, that Google Form won't check questions that are open-ended. Okay, so yung mga short answers, paragraphs, essays, hindi yan sine-check ni Google. Okay, na Google Form. Okay, ang kaya lang niya i-check ay mga multiple choice questions, yung mga may mga definite answers, okay, mga objective type of questions. Okay, so yun yung makita lang nila. Okay, pwede mo rin control kung ano yung makikita nila after they have answered your form. Pwedeng makita nila yung missed questions nila, correct answers, and point values ng mga questions na binigay sa kanila. Okay? So when you're done, okay, on your settings, you just click on save. Okay? Okay. So when you're done with all the settings, okay, pwede mo na simulan yung pag-construct mo ng questions. Pero siguro, explore natin lahat muna ng mga buttons before we even proceed to that. Okay? So, of course, yung send button mo, that's what you click when you're done and you want to send the form already. So, when you click on send, you have 3 options how to send the document. Okay? So, you either send it by email. Okay? So, you can type the email of the people or the person you want to share the document to. Pwede din na mag-share ka ng link. Okay? So for example, this one, this is going to be the link to your form. Pwede mo yung i-shorten para mas maikli lang pag when you share it to your students, okay? Then click copy, okay? Pwede rin siyang embed, okay? HTML, so this is the script that's going to appear if you embed it. Okay, you can change the width and height of the form as it appears in the, usually ginagawa ito pag sa mga website, and you want the form to appear in the website, okay, and not an external link. Okay? There's a big difference in that, okay? You can also copy that, okay? So when you're done, just simply exit that, okay, and send the link, okay, send the embed HTML, or click send if you've chosen email by email, okay, so it's up to you, okay. When you click on the more options, okay, you can make a copy of the form, okay. If you want a second form using the same structure, you can do that. You can move it to trash, get pre-filled link, okay, for your form, okay. You can also print the form, okay, if you want, no, okay. You can add collaborators, okay, so you can add people who may edit, okay, your document or may see, okay, the document. It depends, no, yung ibibigay mong authority to them, okay. So for example, when you click on that, okay, you can add people, okay. For example, let's so you can mag-appear yung mga email ng mga people that from your email addresses, okay. So you can add them, okay. And then when you're done, just click on add or done, okay. Okay, so you can also here, okay, add-ons. Okay, so you can install add-ons. So when you click on that, that's going to bring you to the different add-ons you can explore para ma-optimize mo yung gamit mo ng Google Form. Okay? So, ito basically are third-party add-ons. No? These are not from Google. Okay? And depends. No? Meron mga from Google, meron mga from third-party developers. Okay? So, for example, i-add natin tong form notifications. Okay? I haven't added this to my form. Okay? So, when you want to add it, just simply click on install. Okay, so when you install that, it's going to ask you to give them some permissions, okay, access to your account. Okay. Okay, so let's just exit that. Okay. Okay. So basically, no, that's how you go through on installing your add-ons. Okay. Okay. Now, okay, let's now proceed to our questions. Okay, so when we want to add questions, so there are now different buttons here. Okay, in customizing the questions. Okay, or your form itself. Okay. Okay, so first this one, the plus button is basically when you want to add a question. Okay. This one, if you want to import questions from another document. Okay. You can also add another title and description. That's basically the one on top here, okay, with the title, okay. You can add an image, okay, so if there's an image you want to add to the form, okay. Not to the question, no, so there's a difference, okay. So if you want to add an image to the form, okay, you click this one, okay. If you want to add an image, okay, into the question, there's an option inside the question. So for example, this one, so if there's this question, you can see here that there, if you hover your pointer here, makikita mo yung option to add an image within the question. Okay. You can also add a video. Okay, so that will give you option to upload a video or get a video from YouTube. Okay, depends on you. Okay. And of course, the last one is that you can add a section. Okay. So what the section basically does is that these are when the respondents view it, okay, ito yung separation. Okay, so they won't see the next section unless they click next. Okay, so if you want your questions to be divided that way, so for example, if it's a quiz, for example, the first section are all multiple choice questions, so lahat muna ng multiple choice question, and then next section would be a paragraph writing. Okay, so pwedeng ganun siya. Okay. So that's how the section works. Okay. Now, when you want to change the question types, okay, so marami kang mga question types na pwedeng gamitin, no? Okay. So pwede kang mag short answer. Okay, so basically that's when you ask them to write in short sentences or phrases. Okay, pwede rin siyang paragraph. Okay. So, isa-isahin natin, no? So, gawa muna tayo ng multiple choice question. Okay, so for example, what is your nationality? Okay. Sometimes, nagsasuggest si Google na, for example, yan, naman, pinalitan niya yung question type natin. Pero, ibalik lang natin yun sa multiple choice. Okay, so for example, I'm a Filipino. Or are you an American? Okay, so when you want to add an option, no, click nyo lang yung add option. Okay, so we have, for example, Chinese. Okay, and so on and so forth. No? And when you want to add or open or provide an open space for answers, okay, na gusto mo sila yung mag-type nung answer nila, pwede kang maglagay ng option na other. Okay, so lagay natin yung option na other natin. Okay, so what it does is that when they click others, it will ask them to type their specific answers kung wala siya dun sa options. Okay, okay, sa baba, okay, makikita natin yung option. Since this is now a quiz and this is a multiple choice, pwede kang mag-determine ng answer key. So when you click on that, okay, it's going to bring you to the answer key portion. Okay? So, you see the question and you can determine, for example, since alam naman natin walang tamang sagot dito talaga, no? Pero just for example, let's just choose Filipino as the correct answer. You can see that as a mark, as a check mark with the green check mark means you've determined it as the correct answer. Okay? You can assign points. For example, this question will be worth 5 points. Okay? And just click on that. Okay? So as the editor, okay, makikita mo naman na yung green check mark, okay, it means you've determined na yun yung correct answer. Okay? Okay, if you want, by the way also, pwede ka rin maglagay ng images as your options. Okay? So if you want to create, for example, lalo na sa mga science teachers, no, kung yung mga illustrations, okay, as choices, so pwede nyo ipasok yun dito as options. Okay? So convert nyo lang sila as images and pwede nyo silang ipasok as options for your multiple choice questions. Okay? And again, pwede mo siyang i-copy yung question na to, i-duplicate. Pwede mo siyang i-delete, of course. And if it's a quiz, okay, of course, definitely we're going to require that. Okay? Pero again, may mga questions kasi sometimes, for example, kung survey na hindi naman required. So you can toggle that button. Okay? But for quizzes, definitely na kailangan nating i-require yan. Okay? Okay, so when you're done with that, okay, you can add more questions. For example, let's add another question right here. And let's do naman a short answer. Okay, so when it's a short answer, basically, it will allow the students to answer in a short manner. Okay, so for example, where is your country of origin? So, pwede ka maglagay dyan na doon sila sasagot. Okay? And again, kailangan siya i-require. Okay? Pwede ka rin mag-assign ng points, no? Pero, again, kung ito ay short answer, mas medyo tricky. Kasi, yung answer key dito is very, medyo madami yung kailangan natin consider na answer key. Okay, so medyo mahirapan siyang i-check ni Google. Okay? If you want to, for example, naman add a paragraph question. Okay, so for example, let's add a paragraph question. Okay. Let's use this as a based on a picture, based on the image. Okay. What is the idea of a nation? Okay. Sample lang to okay, teachers. Okay. And for that, let's add an image. Okay. We want them to base their answers on a particular image. Okay. Okay. Let's choose an image. Okay. Okay. Let's insert that. And again, okay, there's a big difference on adding an image into the form and into the question. When you add it into the question, it goes into the question. Okay. So for example, like that. Okay. So makita mo yung image. Okay, nandun yung answers space to answer sa baba. Okay. And again, since a quiz, let's require that. Okay. If you are using naman it for a survey, no, okay, or evaluation, itong tatlong to, okay, linear scale, multiple choice grid, and checkbox grid are the great options for creating questions for evaluations because pwede ka mag-set ng ranges dito. So for example, from excellent to poor, etc. Okay. Meron ka ring options to create checkboxes, okay, drop down, or if you want, for example, you're going to use Google Form as a form of submission, pwede ka rin magpa-file upload. Okay? So for example, let's click on that. And let respondents upload files to Drive. Okay? So basically here, okay, pwede ka mag-big pa rin ng question and yung kanilang sagot will be using a file upload. So for example, if it's an essay, yung magiging output nila, so pwede nila itong i-submit as a file to you. Okay? Okay, so and again, you can create more questions, okay? Different types of questions depending on your needs, okay? You can also create questions for your date and your time, okay? Um, Now let's create a different section, okay? So again, if you want to put a break, okay, dun sa form mo, okay, then you create a section. So for example, this one, okay, we created a new section, okay. This one now, let's say that this will be the essay part, okay. Okay, so that's how you create sections. That's how you create questions, okay, and other settings of Google Form, okay. So when, for example, let's preview that, no, okay, how does it look like in an actual point of view, or from the respondent's point of view, okay. So this is how it looks like now, okay. So you can see, and look at that, okay, there's a next button, ibig sabihin meron kang next section na ginawa because we have a next one. And look at that, okay, what happens that when you click on the next, when a respondent click on the next, if they did not answer your required questions, it throws them back to that question, okay. So that's also a good way of making sure that your students are will answer the required questions, okay. Okay, so let's close that. Okay. Now, all of the things, okay, all of the answers, responses of your students will now go to this part, okay, the responses. Okay. So, kung yan ay survey, kung yan ay a quiz or whatever function you set it to be, okay, mapupunta lahat ng answers or responses dito sa part na to. Okay, so i-collate yan dito. So dito rin lalabas yung mga analytics, um, mga graphs, okay, to give you a visual of your data. Okay? Pero again, pwede mo siya ditong i-link. Okay? So yung mga responses mo, pwede mo siya i-link to your to a spreadsheet. Okay, so when you click on that, okay, it's going to ask you if you want to create a new spreadsheet, okay, or do you want to merge it with an existing spreadsheet. So papipiliin ka niya ng spreadsheet that you want to link it to, okay. So for example, let's just create a new spreadsheet for this, okay. Okay, now your spreadsheet has been created, so it will bring you to your spreadsheet, okay. So that's how your it's gonna look like, okay. Okay, let's just close that. Okay. And you have other options as well. Okay. For your settings. Okay. So, pwede ka mag-set ng email notifications for new responses. Kasi since nilink mo siya, lahat ng data mo papasok dun sa Google Sheet. Okay. If you're done with the form and tapos ka na, pwede naman siya mag-create ng data for the responses made na. Okay. Pwede ka rin mag-select ng responses, okay, or response destination. Pwede mo rin itong i-unlink, no? So kung ayaw mo na, for example, na nakalink yung Google form mo to the Google Sheet, pwede mong i-unlink yan. And you can also download the responses via CSV. Okay, that's readable by Excel. So if you're using Excel at home, you can actually read that here. Okay, you can also read that in Google Sheets. So if you upload that in your drive, Google Sheet will be able to read it. But of course, there should not be an option kasi pag nilink mo na siya, automatic, meron ka ng Google Sheet na create for that. Okay. You can also delete all responses. So gusto mong i-refresh yung form mo and gamitin ulit ito. Pwede mong i-delete yung responses and send it, okay, to another group. Okay. Okay, so basically that's the main features and functions of Google Forms. Okay, so pag if you still have questions, okay, and inquiries about Google Form, okay, let me know, okay, in the comment section. Okay, so give feedback or suggestions. Okay, we'll be exploring more use of Google Form in our next videos on Google for Education tools. Okay, so paano naman to gagamitin or paano mag-construct ng mga different assessments, okay, different activities gamit ang Google Forms. Okay, so watch out for that one. Okay, so please, thank you so much for being with us today. And please don't forget to share and subscribe. Okay, click the notification bell for to be notified of future videos. Okay, so maraming salamat and see you on our next video.